Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm born in Brazil but live most of my life in South Africa and live in Prague for the past year and I love it here.
Meu nome é Zelene e sou do Brasil.
Ciao, mi chiamo Tess. I grew up in Italy and I moved to the United States. I work for SAP, a software company, and I was recently transferred out from a branch in Philadelphia to Prague.
I moved from Brazil in 1986 to South Africa. There I met my husband, that was Czech. We're married, happily married, a beautiful son. In 2009, we decided we were sending my son to the Czech Republic because he was 17. We went to cut the paperwork because under 18 is so much simpler, you know that. I came here, quick, I joined the English speaking group, made lots of friends, have a very intense social life.
How did you find the English-speaking group, though?
And Facebook.
You just looked on Facebook and you found it?
I don't even know how I did, but I did. It was come up somehow.
And all the people are just so nice.
Oh, I loved it.
On moving to Prague, I had to find an apartment, and through the search online, I came across foreigners. And after I became in contact with them, I heard about all of their different...
So once you were talking to them about the apartment, they told you about their other services.
Exactly.
And that's how you found yourself at Meetup. So you didn't find out about it on Facebook.
Every Tuesday we get together, we drink, we eat, we talk crap all the time, and some of us become close friends.
Do you think that without the Foreigners Meetup, you would have been able to make friends?
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
Because I just don't find Czech people that friendly.
Do you think it's because you don't speak Czech? Do you associate it with that? Or do you associate it with culture difference? Or are there Czech people in the workplace that you work with?
I think it's very hard that I don't speak Czech. It does help knowing another language, but Italian doesn't really sound anything like Czech. So in the workplace, I definitely think I need to learn Czech.
The local people doesn't like to interact with people.
Yeah.
Unless they live abroad. If they haven't, you cannot. And you must remember, I got the Czech surname.
Yeah.
I got...
And you speak a little bit of Czech, right?
No. Oh, I can understand a little bit, okay?
You got a little bit.
But, you know, the fact is, it doesn't matter. At the moment that I don't belong to a group, I even got sister-in-laws and told me like that, you know, I'm trying to understand you, you give me headache. I said, fine, I want to come back. You know, they'll have parties, they never like me. You know? But when my husband was alive, gosh, they loved me. Or maybe they loved what I was able to give, you know. But since my husband passed away, I very seldom hear from anyone.
Wow.
It's like...
Wow, that's not a good feeling.
But no, I don't think it's because of lacking of liking you. It's just because their life is so involved, and for them to invite you, they have to make a special occasion because they have to be there all years. Because like this, I only got one brother-in-law that speaks English. Then if you go to his house, he has to be translating all the time, and I know sometimes it gets boring. And it's not because. And then I have another one, you know, and because we don't communicate, that means why they must invite me? Must I sit there, standing there like a palm tree decoration? You know? They try to communicate, but it's difficult.
Are people nice to you there?
E o povo que está sendo bem agradável com você?
Yeah?
No problem.
¿Sabes es porque su esposo es de aquí o?
Não sei, porque sempre estou sola. Ele viaja muito, eu sempre estou com Lucy.
Oh,
Então, não tenho problemas com os checos.
okay.
Hasta ahora.
Did you try and become friends with some of your coworkers or maybe neighbors?
Yes, I did.
And how did that play out?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't very natural. It kind of felt forced, and I just felt like a foreigner.
They don't accept because you are foreign. It's not because they don't like you.
No.
They don't even try to like you. They don't even try to get to know you. That's different. É diferente. Não, as pessoas aqui, eles não tentam te conhecer.
Ah, sim.
Os Czechs. And so you ignore them. They just ignore you. It doesn't matter if you are a nice or good person. They're not interested if you're good or not.
The branch that you work at is less international and there are very few expats. Yes, and is that hard? What's the workplace culture like?
I feel a little alone, I guess. I was definitely looking for other people that I had more things in common with, so this really helped me.
And being part of the English-speaking group at Foreigners, are those mostly your friends?
I'd say so.
It's a really nice group of people.
Absolutely.
Would you want a group that spoke Portuguese or Spanish so you could meet up with?
Você gostaria de encontrar grupo que falasse português ou espanhol? Que você...
Português não.
Not Portuguese, but Spanish.
Spanish as melhor.
Now, do you use expats.cz?
Yes.
And what do you use it for?
For a bunch of different things, for restaurants, for recommendations, for...
The immigration people, they don't like you, they don't help you, they treat you quite badly. And then I went to a lawyer that I pay a set fee to him and he does all my paperwork. Even when I had to have an interview, he was sitting with me, and when they asked a question that was not appropriate, he said, no, that's not.
So you didn't want to use foreigners or expats then?
I was recommended because my husband is Czech, I was recommended by the family to use this lawyer. They say that he's very good. But look, I'm still waiting. It means I won't even comment if he's good or not.
Not too long ago, I got really sick and I needed to go see a doctor. One of my coworkers actually offered to take me, but I wasn't familiar with how the process really works, how the medical system works. I mean, in Italy it's completely different from America, so I wasn't sure really what to expect. So I just contacted Foreigners and they actually assigned someone to come with me to the doctors, and it was flawless.
Do you think that like expats and foreigners.cz are warranted? Like, do you think they have a purpose here?
I think so, because I don't think a person that arrives
Because you had a husband whose family was able to tell you a lawyer, and we don't know if the lawyer was any good yet. But
at
least you had a bridge.
Yes, but for a person who hasn't got that, I think it's very difficult. Where you got it's not easy to find information in English here, and I find these groups, they actually not only help you, but they also give you that community kind of sense that the person needs.
But do you think that it's bad that they're in this community instead of trying to be with Czech people?
No, not at all.
Because
you have to survive.
Yeah, and do you think it's because Czech people aren't welcoming of foreigners?
Exactly. The Czech people that never been abroad, they actually don't like to have foreigners around. The attitude towards foreigners is like we're taking something from them, and we actually not. We actually exchange information, exchanging whatever we have with whatever they have, but they don't see that way. They see us as stealing from them, not exchanging.
Do these services that help you every step of the way, do they maybe slow down the assimilation process into Czech culture? I mean, you've used so many of the services. What do you think about this?
I mean, although I think the services were excellent, I do really believe that it slowed me down a bit. I mean, going from Italy to America, I was kind of thrown into America, so I adjusted really quickly to the social norms, but having a security blanket like Foreigners kind of helped me keep my culture with me, so living in a bubble of my culture within another culture, within Prague. So I definitely think it slowed me down a little, and I just haven't fully adjusted yet.
Now, do you ever plan to be fully adjusted? Do you think that's ever possible for you ever to be fully adjusted?
I honestly don't think so until I learned Czech, or until I just wish people were a little bit more patient with me. But as I said, it's a cultural thing. They're not very patient with foreigners or with those that don't speak Czech. So I just think Italy is where my home is.
You know what? I think if I didn't have this group, I wouldn't stay with Czech.